All right, wrapping up today on some Historic, which is the non-rotating format that exists on Magic Arena, but not on the Gatherer. So Esper, for those not familiar, refers to the 3-color combination of blue, white, and black here. So we've got Magic format all-star Teferi hero of Dominaria, draw some extra cards, tuck things in, be a miserable alternative win condition by self-tucking again and again and again. And then we've got what can only be described as the control player's smorgasbord of smatterings of 1s and 2s when you're not quite sure which answers you want and you're hoping you draw the ones that line up appropriately. 1 search, 1 cast down, 1 despark, 1 scorn, 2 veto, 2 Murderous Rider, 2 Cry, 2 Absorb, a Mortify, an Oathakaya, a Miser's Chemister's Insight, you know. Just play a variety of the different spells. Why pick and choose which ones are good or bad? We can just play a little bit of everything. Thanks for the 11 months, Silas. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So, chat on screen. Thank you. I had it off for the event over the weekend. So while I know I'm making a joke about there being lots of 1s and 2-ofs in this deck, that's actually very common in control decks in Magic today. And the reason why that is because in a lot of different situations, a lot of these cards are effectively the same with slightly different upsides, right? Like on turn 2 to 3, Tyrant, Scorn, and Murderous Rider are frequently the same card. But in later game, in corner case situations, they can be very different. So it's very common for you to play 1s, 2s, and 3s of different cards with similar effects that are all slightly better or worse in different edge cases. So while it is fun to make jest, there is a strategic reason to doing things like that. Oh no! I would like to get off this ride. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Ivoa, thank you for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think the plan is just take their win conditions. I think I just leave them baby Tef here. We don't have that much counter magic in our deck. Strap yourselves in. I've got approximately an hour and a half before we got to be done for the day, so I assume we're going to play 1 or 2 matches in that time. In for Murderous Rider. And they down-tick their Teferi right away, so I get to Oathakaya them here, which is great. Teferi little love tap there. Gosh, they have a bunch of castles in their deck, huh? It's a little scary. Hey, speaking of Theros cards and things to be excited about, did you all see they printed a 2-mana Thoughtseize that gains you a life? Double the mana, double the fun. Oh, do you lose a life? Does it not gain you a life? It's 1. I just assumed it was lose a life. Is it lose a life? It might be lose a life. Am I wrong? It is you lose 1, sorry. Oh, it does exile, that's true.
I am the master here.
You only lose 1 because it costs an extra mana, yep. That's pretty good. We get to kill this. We get to play this, eat their token, draw a card. That's true, it can take cards out of the... It basically lets you Thoughtseize, their cards that cast from the bin, right? In a way. I feel like we're pretty far behind at this point because they have castles and we don't.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Could definitely go either way, but if feel like if there was an advantage bar, it would be ever so slightly in the direction of my opponent right now.
Here goes nothing.
Well, you know.
I've got it.
Yeah, game one of Esper Mirrors, where both players have way more answers than threats.
I'll protect you.
Surprised they didn't make a 1/1 there. This unlocks a counterspell if they have it, but like, I'm kind of surprised they haven't made a 1/1 already. This lets me kill their Teferi potentially if they want to burn a counterspell on an Othikai. I think that's a win for me. Means they're down a counterspell for the next threat that I draw, and they don't get to activate a castle this turn. I have no idea why they're not just making tokens, but let's not jinx anything, okay? They definitely should have just been making 1/1 tokens to pressure me.
Let's try this. That's more like it.
They really don't want to win the game.
Here we go.
Why even put the White Castle in your deck? You're just gonna go to McDonald's every time. Why even play the White Castle, chat? Nobody knows. Nobody knows why they bother with the White Castle.
I'll protect you.
Alright, I've had enough. I'm done. I would like to get off this wild ride. Oh. Alright, so I have 2 Duress. I have an Elder Spell. I have some Vetoes. I have this. Spyglass doesn't seem very good here because they have all the same things I do. Kaya's a win con, technically, I guess. Maybe they have a search for Azcanta, so I keep Mortify. I guess Oath of Kaya hits their Planeswalkers. This seems not great, but passable. Oh yeah, I guess they have a castle and I don't. Alright, yeah, I'll buy that for $1. Oh, I could board in Noxious Grasp, but that's a good thought. Notice me lurking. Thanks for the 17 months of lurking, Durka Durka. Welcome back. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday wherever you're at in the world. Spin the wheel. Play an Azcanta of your own. Rats. Joke's on you, opponent. I didn't want to play these spells anyways. Oh, you don't have any lands? That's sad. It's a good thing you don't need those to play. Well, I mean... Those are spells. How many cards we got in the bin? 6! We've got 6 already, chat. Oh no, they get to bounce my search. That's so rude. Luca, thanks for the 4 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, give me one of your Teferis.
Done the hero thing before.
Yeah, they just don't have anything I really wanted to Spyglass, Brad. Like, I don't really want a Spyglass Hero of Dominaria because I have my own Hero of Dominarias. I feel like I need to be Bart Simpson and just like write on the chalkboard over and over again. I will not trust the auto tapper. 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 Just ingrain it into my brain. It was just so good for so long that I learned that it was okay to trust it. So like having all that trust beaten out of me feels real bad. I think I'm just activating Azcanta this turn. I know I could Despark before they untap here, obviously, but I think I'd rather just go get a card here.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Oh yeah, I can't do that anyways. Good call. Bye, friends. Everything worked out better than expected, chat. I think I'd rather Chemister's Insight here and try and hit some land drops. The good news here is our land is much better than their land. They changed the auto tapper. Yeah, with Eldraine's released, it became a lot less reliable.
Let's slow this down. Let's try this.
What are my deck's win conditions? Are there no win conditions in this deck? I feel like there's a strong chance I don't have win conditions. Alright, that slowly works through the Elder spells. We have Tef and... Oh, I boarded in Kaya. Sick. Oh, we do have a Murderous Rider. That's true. One copy of Command the Dreadhorde. God, we have so many win conditions, chat.
Here goes nothing.
I have practiced the kind of just the
Whew. Man, are we gonna lose a game where we have active Azcanta and they don't? Sure feels that way. Hey, Funk Agenda, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Is Command the Dreadhorde a win con if you don't have win cons to get with it? It's a good, that's like a, if a tree falls in the wood doesn't make a sound type question, right?
I've got it.
On that same kind of level. Are we having fun yet, chat? I'm having fun. I think we're ahead. I feel like advantage bar is Hoaglandia side.
I've got time.
Yay! Draw step Thought Erasure. Woo! Thought Erasure. We deserve this, chat. Look at what we've registered. This is a fate we deserve. All right. Oh, there's a Liliana in my bin too. All right, that one. Really? That prompts a concession? Weird. I feel like we weren't that far ahead there. All right, they've just had enough. You know, we take those victories, right? Huh? Those are the ones where we're like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I agree that they were probably still pretty in that game, huh? Let the discard hit the floor. Let the discard hit the floor. Let the discard hit the floor. Joke's on. Wow, they got rid of the third discard spell, chat. They got rid of the third discard spell. All right, this one gets a tweet. This one's gonna get a tweet. Yay! Yay! Oh, I should have left up a blue to bluff here, right? Well, you know, we're here. Think it's absorbed, we could lock them out? Yeah, maybe. This is where the magic happens, chat. Never forget. The good news is I get to get my 2/3 down here. To get my 2/3 on.
I know. Hold that thought.
Hold that thought. I was kind of expecting them to veto that, then they didn't, so hopefully they go like land Liliana here and I get to play my own Tef. Alright, well now I'm gonna jam this, since there's another one on top of my deck. Really? They played Veto instead of Absorb? That's interesting. Less than a year till more Teferis for the full Teferi Avengers assemble. Look at that. Slow ride. Take it easy. They just like have a second Veto? Is that why they played the first Veto there? They just have a second one? That's gotta be what it is, right? They just have second Veto here. This is a good draw. Alright. Fine. Veto me. Alright, well the good news is I'm winning the race on board, so we got that going for us.
Let us march into battle and make new comrades. Rise.
Let us skip to the good part.
Okay. Alright. Alright. My friend was telling me to do the Historic Challenge to get packs, then I realized that every card in Historic and the whale started singing in my head. That's great. If I tuck, I'm trading my Teferi for delaying their Liliana. I guess I get to veto it on the way back down. I guess.
I do love a good
I don't know.
I'll find a use for you later.
There's a part where they duress and then play a removal spell for my Teferi. And then still have Absorb up so I can concede. Strong remembrance of why we play blue-white with win conditions. Quickly remembering why we usually play decks with win conditions. We did fulfill our land quest. Yeah, I just need to be more strict. We were just getting low on submissions for Historic, so I was kind of taking anything. I think moving forward, if we just run out of submissions, I'm just going to do more Pioneer, not start taking things like this. We'll play 2 or 3 matches, but If they're also playing Esper, I'm conceding. Just to set... Are they playing on full control mode? They're playing Esper and they're playing on full control mode. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nah, I'm not playing another deck today. I gotta be done by about 2:30ish, so I don't wanna play the Aristocrats deck and like end up having to cut it a little bit short if it's good. That's one of the circles of hell, is that it Esper on full control. Yeah, basically. Almost certainly. If the next 2 matches are also Esper, I'm calling it a day. The odds of that are low, though. This person also usually streams Killadub, I believe. I think they usually play Mono Blue or Nexus in Historic, so hopefully not Esper. Clown Bunch! Thanks for 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I'm glad you enjoyed the YouTube stuff. Thanks for keeping me around. Don't you dare play a Godless Shrine. Whew! God bless you, opponent. Never been so excited to see a Nexus of Fate in my life. Modern might well be saved. For people who are interested in Modern submissions, I am opening my queue back up for Modern submissions tentatively for $50 for a Modern submission. There's still a little bit of a price premium because I'm expecting it to be less popular than... I'm expecting it to be less popular than Pioneer still, but I am willing to take a few if people want to pay the premium. And if people don't want to pay the premium, that's fine too. We'll just keep playing lots of Pioneer.
Let us see with your talents. I think you will find my notes helpful.
I am not looking forward to this archetype with that new giant in it.
Might be a bad idea.
Yeah, I agree. I was really hoping for some unbannings as well. Lack of toys being given back is a little bit sad. The Cradle sleeves are from the historic event that's going on right now. So, next turn we get to, like, dismantle them, basically. We get to go, Tef, bounce this, Tef, draw a card, untap our lands, despark the Tameo. They're gonna get to put this up to 3 this turn, but that's not a big deal. Especially since I have backup, baby Tef. Get to slide my dead cards over to the right here. To the right, to the right. I saw people on Twitter saying Ponder Preordained should be unbanned. Thoughts? I think yesterday was idiots have bad opinions on Modern, the Modern format day. At least that's what it looked like on the from the outside looking in. Cards like Ponder and Preordain are cards that are good bans and should remain banned because they create redundant, repetitive gameplay patterns. Waiting for your opponent to sit there and resolve cantrips is tedious. And while they are variance reducing, some amount of variance is good for Magic. Cards like Ponder and Preordain are a lot like Once Upon a Time in that they remove an incredible amount of variance for one specific subset of decks, making those decks just, you know, often the correct choice to be playing.
The moon looks intriguing tonight. The story.
Yeah, the fact that they mentioned the Heliod combo makes me think that this is the cynic in me talking, so, you know, feel free to ignore the old angry man. But it could definitely be maybe they know that Theros isn't really going to spice up standards. They need to leave the Heliod combo legal in Pioneer, so that way they can still sell booster packs.
You show remorse, I'll show restraint.
I'm not cynical, you're cynical. So I could tell Tamio to go tuck herself. That leaves me holding one counterspell up. I think that's probably fine. Although then they get to stick both of these next turn. So maybe I'm just gonna plus here so I can have double counterspell up, I think. I think it will be a little bit sad if, like, the first Pioneer Players Tour event is kind of like marred by the fact that that combo is legal. Like, I feel like it'll make the event a little bit sad. Well, Little Tef's gonna be going away in a blast. When's the PT? End of the month, I believe. So, like, we have a lot of disruption here. The problem is that, like, they're eventually going to be able to play through it, right? Okay, they missed on search for Azcanta. Hey, Epilacos, thanks for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people who can ship that to every single month here on Twitch. Thanks for sending it my way this month and keeping me employed.
You need to slow down.
Bye, Felicia. I'm gonna draw step this erasure here.
I'll protect you.
Here's a take that I wonder how many people agree with. Would Magic be a better game if you couldn't do stuff inside of people's draw steps? Like, what if that wasn't a step that people could pause in? I feel like the fact that you can pause in the draw step is one of those things that's very similar to damage using the stack, in that it's kind of neat and is like, it's one of those, ha, I understand the rules of Magic and I got you type moments. But I really feel like from a lot of standpoints, it's just not ideal. Sure, you could say draw at the beginning of the first main phase, or you could say just like, you do draw steps like the untap step, you can't do stuff inside of it. It's one of those things where like it technically adds a strategic element in like really niche cases, but by and large it's just confusing. Real possibility we don't get another turn here. I disagree with that statement actually. My opponent casts Nexus of Fate with no cards in hand. Until your opponent has this, I know it feels bad to play against the opponent's deck, but until they have a sustained source of card advantage, they aren't very likely to Nexus every turn, which is again why this deck is so tedious to play against, because if you're being game theory optimal, you're sitting here waiting for them to see how their tire spinning goes in a lot of these games. It is correct for me to wait to concede here because they're not that likely to go off yet. Now at this point, once they flip the search for Azcanta, if they go off from here, like if they take one more turn, then they're very likely to go from that position. But until they have a Tamiyo in play or a flip search for Azcanta, their odds of fully going off are actually low. Alright, if they take a turn with this, I'm going to concede. Alright, we're done. This game was a great example of how having endless amounts of disruption just does not beat decks like what that opponent is playing. You need to have ways to actually end the game, and this deck just doesn't have that. Esper is the type of deck that I would describe as it's very emotionally satisfying to play. And what I mean by that is when you win with the Esper deck, you spend a long time winning. And when you lose with it, you tend to lose very quickly. So the amount of actual time you spend winning is high and the amount of actual time you spend losing is low. So this is an archetype that often feels better than it actually is. It's a deck that feels better than it actually is. I felt that statement in my soul, yep. Yeah, if you had a timer and you timed the games where you win and you timed the games where you lose, you compared the time differentials with a deck like this, you would be winning for longer with a deck like this. And likewise, the aggressive decks tend to have the opposite bias, right? Like when you win with an aggro deck, it's fast and brutal and not memorable, and when you lose with it, the games tend to be drawn out. So from a psychological perspective, it's more appealing to play a control deck and less appealing to play aggressive decks. Alright, don't have a castable Erasure yet, but the rest of this hand is pretty good. Hopefully run some lands off here. Famous last words. I guess we name Narset. Do I even name Narset? Like, I'm just gonna name Tamiyo. Like, if I name Narset, I still need to take her off the table. Because, like, I don't want to not draw cards, right? Yeah, aggressive decks with disruption tend to be some of the most satisfying to play, or that's why mid-range decks in general, I think that's actually why so many people are unsatisfied with Standard right now, myself included, is the lack of mid-range means there aren't any of those decks that are sometimes aggressive, but also interactive that are playable. Maybe they do have more Azcantas than I do. Alright, third match is the charm, right? Nexus of Fate is banned in Best of 1 Historic. It is, and it's banned in Pioneer. It is not banned in Best of 3 Historic. Alright, let's try one more. We're probably gonna call it a day. Never forget, chat, that there is only one party in the United States that has consistently worked to fight actual democracy from happening. Judges have just ruled that Wisconsin is going to be purged 200,000 plus voters. So if you are from the land of cheese to the north of me, you should make sure you're still registered to vote for 2020. So, you know, if you can't win, cheat. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year, Vexology. Welcome back. I heard purge and perked up, different kind of purge. Let's be honest, if the Republicans can get away with it, they'd probably be all for the other type of purge too, right? They all cheat. That's not true. Never forget that lazy what about, and both sides-isms are not welcome here, because that's just not true. Both sides-isms and what about isms, those are pro-GOP statements, and they're not welcome here. Alright, so I've got ways to kill this. Can't kill that one. Let's get that one out of there. I would love a 4th land on top of my deck. So with the 4th land on top... Okay. I was gonna say, I think we just contempt this, but they're just ramping up here, sure. I think I take the Galta here. I guess I could just plan to kill all their stuff. Yeah, let's just plan to kill all their stuff. They all cheat is a lie that cheaters spread because it helps them. That's accurate, yep. I mean, to be fair, like, this is the type of matchup where this deck looks and feels great, right? Like, so far, we played against, like, Mirror Match and Nexus, which are kind of miserable no matter how you slice it. Whereas, like, when you play your deck full of Doomblades against the deck full of creatures, you're gonna be in a good spot. Gust is great. Grasp is great. We'll trim some Vetoes. Othakai is probably not very good against their deck full of big things. Cry is probably not very good against their deck full of big things. They were Naya, right? Do I just assume they have some red dinos and board in Decree? I think so. It's probably pretty likely. Okay, bottom of the Narset here, good to go. Glacial Fortress tapped on 1 into Thought Erasure on 2. Last election, I got 3 mailers from GOP candidates. All of them had the wrong date and or polling location on them. Sounds about par for the course. Sheeper Sanctuary. Well, let's get that one out of there, shall we? Some draw card every time we target. Wait, friendo. Oh, they stacked these, right? Sure. That's a good call out to side. Should definitely play the Chapel on 2, because if we draw Absorb, that's ideal. That's a good catch. Well, I'm gonna bottom that. I think I just need a sweeper here. I'm gonna draw step, Aether Gust this Raptor. Maybe I'm supposed to take the Scavenger just because it does more damage.
I know my responsibility. Here we
So I'd really like to draw a 2-mana removal spell next turn, so that way we can Teferi plus and then cast a removal spell with Teferi's mana.
go. I have no time for a break.
Well, I guess they get to kill this. They get to Death Gorge, hit this, and then this is a 3/3/2. That's awkward. So we're hoping for just one of our sweepers here. Kaya's, wait, what? Okay, I say they probably mean to attack, right? They clicked on the wrong one. Makes sense. Oh, gosh, right. Just this gets to kill it even. It's pretty slick. Okay, that's an absorb. Unfortunately, do not have enough mana to cast both of these this turn, but probably need to Contempt the Scavenger. If they have something scary to play post-combat, though, I'm going to be in trouble. This means I stay at 7 this turn, which is nice. Oh. Sure. Still annoying, but only taking 5, going to 4. So, dead on board. Maybe. Maybe they'll play a spell before they attack. Maybe they'll play a spell before they attack. Sick. Thanks for the lifeline. I appreciate you. Absorb. Absorb. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand. We'll make it, I swear. Oh, do 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 do, boo do 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 do. Hey, soul noted. Storm Breath Dragon, welcome back for the 10th month. I appreciate that. That's why people play these decks, chat. Because when they feel good, they feel great. More than good, they're great. Seems pretty good. Got a Kaya's Wrath for a creature deck. Got counter spells for a not creature deck. More dinos. Yes, please. Nom nom nom. Gimme dinos. Gimme dinos. Do 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 do. Sure. Alright, what you got? That's, it's a lot of Regisaurs, chat. It's a lot of Regisaurs. Trino, thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. We're 100% the base. You're 110%. Not particularly close. Your friend just finished foiling their Affinity 75. Oh, life comes at you fast sometimes. Life comes at you fast sometimes. What card am I most excited for in Theros? The red-black god goes in all of the aristocrat style decks that I really like playing. What are spells? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Goodbye, Dino friends. Alright, if they brick on action this turn, we're in a great spot. Oh, yeah, are we done here? Are we done? Yeah, in a way, Mox Opal getting banned is a mercy killing for Affinity players. What? Remember that time I didn't play Teferi pre-combat and I got Snapping Sail backed? Pepperidge Farm remembers the time I got Snapping Sail backed. Guess we def should have done this pre-combat. Veto's out. Cry out. Trim a Narset. Seems fine. Mox Opal isn't really played much in Legacy either. The Storm deck that we're actually going to start with tomorrow is playing 4 copies of it now. I'm confused on what you're asking, Frank. Are you asking to get Storm played twice tomorrow? I think Urza's probably a fine card in a format where the people playing it don't get to play 2 lands on the first turn of the game. That's a keep. Hey, can it to win it? Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. Shillings cannot add decks of any kind to the queue. Shillings can simply bump decks that are already there up. What do you think the elves have on watch to make them keep printing OP green cards? It's a good question. Here's a really important question for you all at home, chat. The people who during Eldraine spoiler season said they thought Oko wasn't playable, do you think those people were just psychic and were like looking into the future where they knew Oko was going to be banned in every competitive constructed format? Is there a chance that that's what they actually meant? Oh no, the Bobcat. Thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
The focus and keep an open mind.
Oh, I can decree this one, right? It's one of their only red ones. Sure. Yep. Solidly into garbage time. All right, let's see if we can get one more green deck. See if we can get one more green deck. Almost done with our dailies here. Alright, let's draw some lands here, huh? Why did you just get gems as a reward? Because they gave me a rare that I already had 4 copies of, Justin. When you get a 5th copy of a rare that you're already maxed on, that was our best draw possible, because it helps us find land here as well. The feather matchup is very good for this archetype. Someone isn't a whale. I'm gonna go ahead and plus this here because Teferi is very good in this matchup because he prevents them from being able to protect their feather. Look at all of our whales in chat. I knew that emote would get great mileage. Y'all are great. I mean, their feather cantripped here at least, I guess.
This might be a bad idea.
This might be a bad idea. Alright, so they can kill Teferi now. If we brick on land some more here, we could be dead. We'll see if they have another pump spell or if they use shock to finish Tef here. Oh, right, it's going to 6. Never mind, he's just dead. Right, this card's so good. I think we've died, chat. I think there's a good chance we're dead. Cry kept Tef alive there. I didn't want them to get all of their target things back to their hands, Derek. So if I don't kill the feather, they get to rebuy all those cards that are drawing them cards. My goal was to stop their card advantage. How do I ever beat a castle? Can I ever beat this card, like, in a million years? This card seems sweet in their deck for beating up this matchup. Alright, I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna call it a day. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to play Legacy and a bunch of Pioneer tomorrow. We're taking tomorrow off of Arena to focus on Magic Online's non-rotating formats. I'll be off entirely on Wednesday because Wednesday is the pre-release day for the streamers that Wizards of the Coast likes that aren't named Jeff Hoagland. So I'll be back on Thursday morning. Thursday morning, we're going to do one Pioneer deck while we wait for the Arena update to get applied. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll be theoretically doing a bunch in all Arena. We'll probably have a little bit of Historic sprinkled in with the Standard because I know Ranting Bob sent me a big donation to do Blue-White in Historic with some of the new Saga cards that seem sweet, but mostly Standard over the weekend. Remember, if you've got any sweet Standard decks you'd like to see played, my queue is still fairly open, so feel free to submit them using the form on my website. You'll get a response back each evening. Yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. I'm gonna hit one ad roll at the end here to meet my quota for the day. To give a wrap on this one, I really don't like decks like this. I probably shouldn't have accepted this. It's just, they feel good to win with when you're winning with them, but there's just so many things where, like the castle, for instance, where you sit there and we don't have an actual way to win the game and we don't have an answer for that card specifically. So whenever you don't have an answer to one of their specific threats, you just die. There's never any, oh, we can just pivot and kill them type thing. You're just like, yeah, you have supreme wrong half syndrome, right? Like none of your cards actually win the game. So you have to be able to answer everything. And then as soon as one thing slips through the cracks, you just get got. So definitely prefer like the Jeskai Super Friends. If you're looking for a control deck in this format that has my stamp of approval, Jeskai Super Friends is one we've played a couple of times. It's very reasonable. It has Sarkhan as a way to close the game out that I think is super sweet. Sounds good, Beansy. All right, catch you later, folks. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Monday.